Well, about a year ago is when we started writing for this album. Back to Me Without You, which is one of my favorites, was actually the first song that we wrote for this album. And it's actually Neil and me giving Kimberly a little bit of advice.
Which I
She
hate.
does, yes. But from the get-go, it kind of set the pace for this entire album. That song, it was brutally honest for us. I remember Kimberly was crying in the process of writing that song just because of what it meant to her. Also from the fact that we wrote and rewrote every single song on this project just because we wanted to make sure every word that we had in it was meant to be there. And one way that we challenged ourselves from the first album was we wanted to make sure that every bit of it was honest, and that's a lot harder to write an honest lyric than one would think, because especially when you're trying to be poetic or write a beautiful melody or lyric, sometimes it's not truly what you believe. So for us, we really challenged ourselves to be as honest and true to us as we could.
And so we did have a couple of songs leading into kind of the early rights, if you will, Pioneer. But I feel like the moment that this process began, the three of us actually took a road trip from Nashville all the way out to California, all through the Midwest, and then went down to the Southwest. And we spent a lot of time just writing songs. We stopped in at the Grand Canyon. We stopped
Santa
in
Fe,
Santa
New
Fe, New
Mexico.
Mexico, which is actually where we pinned Pioneer with the New Mexican sunset actually in the background. But this road trip actually led us out to California. And we were taking our songs out there, had the opportunity to jump in the studio with Rick Rubin. And we sat there for a good 2 weeks. He was listening to the songs. He's a genius when it comes to even rhyme scheme, right?
We called him our song doctor. You have to
Yes.
see.
Well, because I mean, we can rhyme words like free and easy, but apparently those don't rhyme. And so we got this education about song mechanics and a lot about the emotion in songs. You know, Rick is a very visceral guy when it comes to songs. It's all about the way that it makes him feel. And so we learned so much about the craft and really tightened up the songs, but then made the creative decision that we needed to take those songs back home here to Nashville for Dan Huff to produce. And, you know, he's just been a hero of ours for a long time and a friend. So it was quite a journey figuring out creatively exactly where Pioneer needed to land. But I almost feel like that's also the story of the album. Sometimes in life, you end up at a very different place than where you began, but it's exactly the place that you were meant to be.
Pioneer was all about our own self-discovery.
And journey, yeah, putting one foot in front of the other.